Hi, and welcome to another episode of Beyond a Dream. I'm Casey, and today I have two guests who happen to be in my herd. So I don't want to hear anything about not wearing our masks. So I want to introduce you to two of my very good friends that are here today to talk about something that we all need to hear about, financial literacy in today's world. I have Mr. Ron Johnson and his beautiful wife, Regina Rose Johnson. Thank you guys so much. And I think we can do this because we are in each other's herd. So
Yes.
nice to see you guys
Nice to see
again.
you as well.
All right, so we're going to get into this financial literacy because a lot of people, including myself, have questions. This has been one of the most tragic years, for this whole year has been very different for most of us. We've had a lot of people passing away. We've had a lot of people, young people, that are just having to deal with things that they've never had to deal with before because their 50-year-old parents are now gone. It's just unreal how this year has gone so far, and last year. Our life expectancy has shortened, black people by 3 years, Hispanics 2, and Caucasian 1. So, that's just unheard of, It's supposed to be going the other way around, and we're going backwards. So I want to know, first of all, a little bit about what you guys do, and let's start off with the company that you guys work with.
Well, we work with Revolution Financial Management, powered by World Financial Group, and we are owned by Trans-American Financial Advisors. So it's a huge company.
Yeah.
Then they're actually owned by Aegon, which it's a Dutch company, but they're one of the two big companies to fail. So I always tell people, we're not the little guys on the block, but we have a great 800-pound gorilla behind us. So
Exactly. And you guys have been, you do wealth building, you do, like I said, you do will and trust, you help people prepare for their retirement. It's a big umbrella. Actually, it's a few umbrellas.
yes,
And you guys are doing everything under this umbrella.
correct.
That's awesome. So you get a one-stop shop to help you.
That was the idea, yes.
That's wonderful. So with that, I want to ask you, first of all, what is the mission of this company? Should I call it a company or?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, it's definitely, the mission is no family left behind. Many Americans, especially on our side, are not getting this information. So most of the financial companies really focus on the wealthy and affluent, so that pretty much leaves us out.
Yes.
In that respect.
Yes. Okay, so the no family left behind. I like that.
Yes,
It sounds like it's inclusive.
exactly. Exactly.
And that's what we're working on these days. We're
Yes.
trying to help each other understand better that we don't have to be left out.
Correct.
We all need a little bit of information, and we all need sometimes someone to guide us. So that's you guys'
Yes.
job.
Yes, it is.
Most definitely.
Okay, so when you do this, how do you help people? How do you help the people under this umbrella? Say, money-wise.
Well, the first thing we do is we sit down and do what we call a financial needs analysis. So that gives us really a forensic look at their finances, how much they have coming in, how much they have going out, but even more important is what are their goals and dreams of their families? What is it that they want to achieve, and then we can reverse engineer it to help them get there.
Okay, so give me a very brief step-by-step process. How would you do this?
The first thing, see what their debt situation is, because you can't save money if you're busy paying debt, right?
Right.
Get out of debt, develop a short-term savings, that turns into a long-term savings, then help people get better rates of return on their money,
Oh, great.
especially on long-term investments. And one of the biggest things that I talk about a lot is make sure they're properly protected, and that's the life insurance aspect of it.
Right.
And then from there, we can go into the wills, your advance directives, and then your trust. If you own a home or any property, or you need to have a trust because the wills just won't protect you alone.
Right, a lot of people think that all you need is a will, and then that's it. But the trust, the power of attorney,
Yes.
the advance directives, all of that plays a big part.
Huge part.
Especially when it comes to probate issues.
Exactly.
So explain that to people, because I think that is probably the biggest question when people are trying to understand how does that play into people owning their property and having it fully paid out and then pow, it's gone.
Well, unfortunately, we've had a few famous people that didn't have a trust. From what I understand, Prince didn't have a trust.
Right.
Okay, even Aretha Franklin as well. So these people, what a trust does is protects your properties, your things that you worked hard for, so that the government don't make those decisions for you.
Exactly.
So we like to try and help them do those decisions while they're still alive. And then when they do go to heaven, be one of God's little angels, their plan will go into place. And we can get the money from the state, keep it with your family, and it works way better if you have those things in place.
Yes, it does. A lot of less stress and worry on the family. Even when it comes to the advance directives. Now that's another thing with a lot of our elderly people, they don't have that one in place.
Well, it's not even the elderly, but what about when your child turns 18?
Yes.
Many parents, and I told my family, we've been doing Zoom calls since before COVID hit, well, when COVID hit. And when a lot of my cousins was going back to college, I told them, if you don't have an advance directive in place, if something happens and your child gets sick, you have no rights to make decisions for them.
Wow.
The state will do them. So you have to have your advance directives and the powers of attorney in place.
That's some good information, because most people don't think about their kids, you know, I mean, it's just not the natural order of things, so.
Correct.
We don't usually think about our kids turning 18 saying, okay, Mom, Dad, I don't want you making my decisions anymore, pull the plug, you know, that would be horrendous to a parent, so.
Yes.
But it probably has happened.
It has, definitely. Well,
We experienced that firsthand.
yes. About 10 years ago, my son was shot and killed, and that was, one of those horrendous situations. But also, when our other son got into a car accident. He was 18 years old, and the doctor walked right past him. He said hello, and walked right past and started talking to him.
Wow.
He's sitting there with
I know you're like, do you not see me?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I know, how did that work out?
It worked out, but the thing is that the fact of the matter that you have no rights, you can't say anything, they don't have to consult with you, they just go right to that child or that person that's over 18, that's
Yeah.
18 and over, which
So
still live in your
apparently-
home, still getting, but that's just how it works, so,
Apparently your son listened to you guys anyway at that time, so.
yes.
Yeah,
yes.
because I'm sure there's a lot of situations where that doesn't happen.
Too many, unfortunately.
And it's the right of that young person.
Correct.
Oh, that's crazy. I just thinking about that drives me nuts right
Yes.
now. I'm like, there's no way that I would be able to just stand for that, you know?
That's the law.
So, I'll ask you this question, probably later, and you can give me more detail. How do you tell your kid to sign that and make you the person that gets to be the one that makes those decisions?
That might be a tough conversation.
I would think so. We'll talk about that later.
Okay.
Well, in many cases, they don't know, so they're
Ah.
unaware also, because in that situation when we were at the hospital, so our son had no idea, but the doctor did ask him for permission to talk to us,
Right.
the parents, right? Asked our son for permission.
And he's just like, yeah, sure.
Well, of course,
Okay,
right?
wow,
So in
okay.
many instances, these young adults, they don't know either, but it's good for the parents to have that conversation with them.
I think so. So, I know that this is a business of sharing and caring. So, say a person wanted to actually be a part of the business and not just seek the business part to help them later, or future-wise. They want to actually be in the business. How would they go about doing that?
Well, there's a process for that. You want to go over that, sweetie?
I can. Well, actually, we're always looking for great individuals. The need is so great that we just don't have enough people to service the need within the community,
Right.
right? We have hundreds of thousands of people, and they all need, what we have.
Mm-hmm.
But we're looking for individuals that are honest, that are people of integrity, that can serve. We say mission before commission,
Of course.
right? See, we can teach a skill, right? But we can't teach someone how to be individuals of integrity.
Exactly.
Right? Honest and trustworthy, right? And
I
have that heart to
understand.
serve.
Yeah.
At some point, it has to go from your head to your heart,
Yes.
right? So,
Awesome.
in the people that we work with, but yeah, so we would love to sit down. That's having a conversation to find out what, how they can fulfill a service to us,
Mhm.
and how we can. It has to be something mutual.
Right, a win-win.
It has to be a win-win.
And I know you two personally very well, so I know that you are people of high integrity. And I respect
Thank
you
you.
guys, and we've been friends a long time, so I know that you guys do what you do and you do it well. So
Well, thank you.
that's why we're here today. So, you're welcome. So I want to ask you, this is a good one, how do you help people get out of debt?
That's a conversation,
Mhm.
right? And so, Shella?
Of course.
Okay. So that's a conversation. We actually meet people wherever they are. So, but we have to identify, well, what's the cash flow? What's coming in,
Mhm.
right? And then what's going out. And we help them to manage their debt and maybe even eliminate some of that debt,
Mhm.
right? But it's them knowing, where they are, being open and honest, because garbage in, garbage out.
Right.
Right? Them identifying what some of their goals are, just what our mom said earlier, and stepping them through that process. Sometimes they need to earn more,
Mhm.
right, to be able to pay the debt down, and but we help them develop a plan. So it's just it goes with just meeting them where they are, but staying with them throughout that process,
Mhm.
and that help them resolve it. So,
Yeah, but it all starts with a plan.
oh, it does,
Okay, all right.
right?
So, I want to ask you this, Regina, because I know that this is something very near and dear to your heart. Why is it so important to you for women to be financially literate?
Oh my goodness. So you are so right. That does speak to me. It's based on why I'm so passionate about financial literacy for women is we as women, we take care of everyone. We
Mhm.
take care of your mom, you take care of your children. If you're a wife, you take care of your spouse. We take care of our parents. We take care of everyone
Right.
else. But when it comes to ourselves, sometimes we negate ourselves, which also goes with self-care.
Mhm.
But things happen in life, and sometimes how we start in life, or even relationships, sometimes it doesn't go as planned.
Right.
And oftentimes we are left holding the bag,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
Where our children needs us, and then life events happen. Divorces happen, death happens, right?
Right.
These unexpected events happen, and if we're not prepared, or even if we're not having the conversation with our significant other to make sure things are in place, so when something tragic happens, we're prepared, right? So, and I tell you. And my parents didn't know enough to share this type of information with me. And, I often say a situation had transpired with my mom, and it really set the stage for why this is so important to me, right?
Mhm.
So, and it was during a time I was her primary support financially.
Mhm.
And, see, the system is not designed, there are people that take advantage of the system, right? But if you're depending on social security, but we call that social insecurity,
Right.
right? That's not enough, especially in the state of California, for someone to survive,
Exactly.
right? So if you're getting $1,200 a month, how much does it, where can you
Right.
live for
Mhm.
$1,200 a month?
Right.
Right? But when we have one of those life-changing events, but we're prepared, right? Something that can see us through, because now we know what we need to do for retirement, right? Because we often outlive our spouses,
Yes.
by 10, 15 years statistically,
Mhm.
so we save less in our retirement, right? And we live a lot longer.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
who needs that information?
Women.
Exactly. So if we can just, initiate the conversation, between the couple, oh, that just blesses me,
Yeah.
wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
And oftentimes we know our spouses, they mean to, you thought about getting it done, right?
Just look
And
at
so we
Ron.
can just help them do that process. And he's representing, the men,
Right.
that are out there.
Right.
But, and we know that you guys mean to get it done. But what we want to do is help them through the process, right? And so now we can come together whole. And how powerful that would be.
It would be, girl.
Yes.
Good for you.
Girl power.
So, with that, on that note, as the head of the family, what do you think is most important to a family for them to get this under control, I guess you could say, before it's too late?
Like my wife said, a conversation. You have to be on one accord on finances. Sometimes that doesn't happen.
Right.
Sometimes I know early in my marriage, I was on the mission of asking forgiveness and not permission, right? So that would lead me to get into trouble financially. But you have to have that conversation. And most people don't want to have that conversation, which is kind of ironic because it's something that is either going to be had with you or it could be had about you. So really sitting down as men, as head of household, and take care of those things that you need to take care of. I don't even want to tell my wife how much insurance I have on me, but she'll be taken care of. I don't have an accident, right? But anyway, it's you have to be covered because again, if you're not going to take care of your family, you don't want to leave that to someone else.
Right.
And if you, they say real men, you take care of your family. So
That's right.
that's just really the bottom line. Take care of those things that need to be taken care of, and you don't have to worry about it later.
So, I agree with you, and I respect that answer. I endorse that message. So, what is generational wealth? You guys talked to us about that, my husband and I, and we have these conversations in our private time. But I think the answers that you've given in the past, I think people need to hear them. So I want you guys to go into that.
Well, here's the thing. We know about the Hiltons, the Chases, the Kardashians, right? But what about the Thorpes, the Johnsons, the Jones?
Right.
These people have money that are going for generations. And what most people do, wealthy people, is that they use some of the products that we have to transfer wealth tax-free. Okay? Unfortunately, a lot of folks think that, okay, I'm not going to leave money to take care of so-and-so. But it's not so much so-and-so, but it's what do you want to leave behind? What do you want to leave?
Can't take it with you.
You can't take it with you, okay? But, I'm not into taking GoFundMe or chicken dinners or rib dinners for families.
Right.
No. Get life insurance, get protection, and then let that wealth, build that wealth, whether it's that, with insurance or real estate or investments. But definitely have some type of basic life insurance policy so when that time does come and you go to heaven and be one of God's little angels, that your family's taken care of.
Okay, so what about retirement? How do we plan for retirement?
Wow.
I know that's a loaded question, I know, but it's one of those things where if you had 1 minute to tell people, how would you say? How do you take care
Well,
of it?
retirement comes in different forms. I think people think it's an age thing, but it's really a money thing.
Yes.
How much money that you have at the end of the day that allow you to retire. Again, sports players, we get sports players or entertainers, they retire before the age of 65 because they make a whole bunch of money, they make good investments, and then they can retire.
And their bodies broke down.
And then, exactly, their bodies broke down.
Right.
But what we don't do is we don't think of these things that are, if our employers are still having types of 401ks or 403bs, depending on if you're in that sector, 457s, put money away now and don't touch it, okay? Those are for retirement. It's not for college education for your children. It's not for buying things or whatever the case may be, but it's for retirement. And most people don't live life on their own terms because they don't plan right now.
Right.
It's the old saying, you put a seed away for now so that you can have it, you can reap the harvest later.
Of course.
That's what we don't do. You need time
Yes.
and money to put away, and for when we do get to that golden age, whatever that age is for you, you can retire in the style that you are accustomed to.
Right. Pay yourself first.
Pay yourself first, definitely.
Yes, because a lot of people don't do that.
No.
That's something that my husband and I learned later way later in life.
But it's not too late.
It's not too late, that's right,
Not
that's the
too
good
late.
part, it's
Well-
never too late, but it is something that I wish I had thought of, much earlier,
Sure,
you
definitely.
know.
And
But
the other saying is, it doesn't matter how much you make, it's more what you keep.
That's right, that's
Right.
right. So, what are the challenges that people are facing in these times?
So,
Go ahead.
I think, in many cases, it's just not having the information,
Mhm.
right? And, not having the information that they need, not even feeling, that they can start saving. We say just start now,
Right,
right?
start where you're
So
at.
start wherever you are,
Mhm.
right? And then we need to share this information with our family members, right?
Mhm.
Teaching our children, because these principles and financial concepts are not taught in our schools. They
Right.
teach everything else in school,
Mhm.
right? But not these concepts. And I think families, especially during these times, they're drowning, right? And we are the lifeboat.
Right, people are
Right.
drowning slowly,
They are.
Yes.
drip, 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 kind of
Yes.
drown.
Right? And so who's watching out for the little guy? Now,
Right.
don't get me wrong, we help everybody.
Right,
So we're not gonna say, get out of here, rich guy, but we help everybody, right? Because we meet them where they are. But but people are suffering, and people need the information, but they also need someone that will be there to help them through that process.
mhm.
And I think that's really important.
I do
right,
too.
to be able to, and for someone that they trust.
Mhm. Trust, now
So
that's
trust
the big
is a
one.
big,
Yeah.
is a big deal.
That is a big deal, as a realtor or a real estate agent, yes, I can't use that term anymore until, but anyway, as a real estate agent, trust is and has always been one of the biggest factors in what I did for my clients. And, that also begins with a conversation. The thing that you guys do, and the reason why I say you have so much integrity is because I personally know from experience that you will talk and listen and listen and and listen until you have a full understanding of what the person, what their needs truly are. And everybody's different, and you guys put a perfect picture out for everybody. So it's really important that when a person is sometimes spilling their guts like you're their counselor,
Mhm.
because it becomes that way.
Oh, yes.
They have to feel that they can trust you, So I think you guys are awesome people. And I really, it's my pleasure to do this interview with you guys and let people hear the opportunities out there if they just want to either get some help with their own financial literacy, or if they want to possibly join your team and see what's out there for them, So I want to say before we go, do you either have anything to say to the viewers?
Well, thank you so very much for the opportunity. This
No
has
problem.
just been wonderful,
Oh, you're
right? Just to
welcome.
be able to have a candid conversation. And I want to say to each and every one of you, there is hope, right? And there is a light at the end of the tunnel, but just reach out. And
How would they reach out?
661-609-9669,
Right.
right? Just make that contact, give us a call, and we will be on the other end to meet you wherever you are and to help bridge that gap to where you want to go.
That's right. And what about you, Ron?
Well, you can reach our website as well, financialcrusaders.com. That's www.financialcrusaders.com. You can make an appointment. You can see our company. You can see what we do, what we think of, what our mission statement is, and really just check us out. There's nothing secret about it. We're out there for folks again, everyone wants information. It's a lot of good free information on that website as well. And then we can just go from there. You can text us, email us, or call, and we'll, like my wife said, we'll be there on the other end of the line.
Yes. You can also contact me, and I will make sure that I get in touch for you and hook you guys up. So either way, you'll find them. The
Thank you.
Johnsons, they'll get you. All right, you guys. So thank you so much again for the opportunity to do the interview for you, and we will, of course, be in touch a lot more. So I want to say to everybody, thank you for being there and watching. And if you have any questions, please contact me. You have the information right there, or right there. And we thanks again for watching, and always live beyond the dream. Bye.